Hello, it is Katie here from CreativeHealingPhilly.com, and what I wanted to do was talk to you today about the idea of fear of failure. So we are working in our groups this week on the idea of perfectionism and the fear of failure, and working with teens who think I'm not good enough or what's the point, who may end up pushing themselves too hard in order to feel like they are good enough or in order to achieve some perfection in their lives. Or we see the other end of the spectrum where teens will avoid things that are difficult for them because they don't want to trigger that feeling of not being good enough. They don't want to trigger that thought of what's the point or why bother. So we see teens on both ends of the spectrum. And what I wanted to do was talk to you a little bit about the truth of that today, because here's the truth, is that most times we give up way too soon when we're trying something new. And it's not about the failure itself, but the story that we create about ourselves and the world as a result of that failure that keep us stuck in negative thinking patterns and unhelpful behaviors. So here's the thing, when you're trying something new, of course it's going to be hard the first time around. Of course you're not going to have mastery of that thing the first time that you do it. And so we always encourage that you repeatedly try something so that you can build some sort of mastery over it, so that you can feel good about yourself once you've tried something difficult and gotten to the other side of it. And so what we teach our teens in our groups here at the Teen Support Center is that FAIL is just an acronym for your first attempt in learning something. Okay? If you try and it doesn't work, it's not proof that it will never work. It's proof that you need to continue to try or recognize how something will work for you. So one of the things that we're going to do tonight in our groups and this week in our groups is talk about different examples of people in the world who have failed again and again and who are actually pretty successful now. So I wanted to read some of them off to you so that this idea could resonate with you as parents and teachers and professionals as well, so that you know how to best support the teens that are in your life, okay? So Stephen King's first novel was rejected 30 times. He actually gave up on his first book and threw it in the trash. And then his wife took it out of the trash and sent it in. And now his books have sold over 350 million copies and have been made into countless motion pictures. So if Stephen King had given up on that first manuscript, you know, he may not be the author and the person that he is today. Jay-Z couldn't get signed onto any record labels. He came from a rough neighborhood and had big dreams. Unfortunately, the rest of the world didn't agree with him at first, and not one record label would sign him. But that didn't stop him from creating his own music powerhouse and his label that would turn into a lucrative Rockefeller Records. He's proof that, you know, his estimated net worth is 500 million. Time ranked him as one of their 2013 most influential people, and he's married to Beyonce. So who can beat that, right? If Jay-Z gave up the first time around or the first rejection that he got, he may not be Jay-Z today. Van Gogh only sold one painting in his lifetime, and look at his works now and how well known he is in the art community now. Steven Spielberg was rejected twice from USC. I'm reading as we go. 2 years later, he became a trustee of the university. He received an honorary degree in 1994, but he was rejected twice when he tried to get in. Further reinforcing my point that there's no one right way to do college or that next step in your life. So if you have a teen who has been rejected from a college of choice and feels like their life is not going on the path that they wanted, that there's definitely other ways to look at the situation and other ways to get to the place that you want to be in your life. Finally, Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he created the light bulb. His response to these failures was, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And that's what I wanted to talk about lastly for today, is that it's all about the reframe. This is fancy therapist language for being willing to interpret what's happening in your life in a way that's helpful for you rather than in a way that keeps you stuck. So that's the skill that we're going to work on in our groups this week, is looking at things that we feel like are failures, looking at the difficulties and hardships in our life or the tasks that we need to complete, and recognizing that it's a first attempt in learning. And if we continue to reframe and look at the world in a way of, I can do this, or finding finding a sense of confidence or mastery in the small steps along the way, that we can definitely get to viewing the world in a way that's helpful and that moves us forward rather than keeping us stuck. So if you found this helpful and you want to connect with us and get your teen into a group where they can learn some of the skills to move them forward in life and to banish some of that self-critical language of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm not going to try because I'm afraid of what the end result is going to be, definitely reach out to us. You can go ahead and visit us at creativehealingphilly.com. Again, I'm Katie from creativehealingphilly.com, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.